Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric and Chad here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today, we've got another self-reliance episode for you. These are so much fun. In case you haven't seen some of our self-reliance episodes, we go into ways that you can be much more self-reliant in terms of survival situations, disaster situations, basically just how you can be better prepared as a family, as an individual, no matter where you are. If something happens, you've got the ability to protect yourself or feed yourself. So in today's situation, we're going to be taking a look at the nutrient survival rations. Now, you guys might be familiar with things like MREs. MRE stands for meal ready to eat. The nutrient survival options that we're going to be showing here, they are a freeze-dried food option. Long-term storage is what the intended overall purpose is, but they do have small packs we're going to be going through. And this is meant to be an alternative for a military ration. The nutritional value of these rations fall perfectly within the DoD accepted specifications for nutritional values for soldiers. As you know, when soldiers are out in the field and operating in various environments, they consume a ton of calories and they use a lot of energy. So these are high energy, long-term storage. So, Chad, overall, I know MREs are useful, but how do you feel about a concept like this compared to traditional MREs?
So some of the big differences between like MREs and freeze-dried and even dehydrated foods is that MREs only have like about a 5-year shelf life, maybe upwards of 10. But see, the thing is, the nutritive content and the flavors and stuff start to degrade over time, although the food might still be safe to eat. And let's face it, some of the stuff in the MREs is pretty gross. Right.
We are going to be tasting these today. If you haven't seen our videos on tasting an MRE, Chad tried his first MRE on camera. Check that video out if you want.
Yep.
MREs are not bad, and I'm not trying to downplay MREs because they are a great option. You can get the Nutrient Survival in these large number 10 cans, and they are sealed. Okay, so this is really nice. This has 12 servings. So if you're feeding, actually 15 total servings in this particular one. So if you're feeding, a large family for a couple of days, you can totally crack this thing open and have all the rations in here you need until you're ready to use it. If you keep it in a cool and dry location, these will last like 25 years. So a very long shelf life. We've also got these small camping packs here we're going to be busting open. These are the ones that we're going to be tasting. Now, you could, if you want, if you go to the link below that we have in the description box, you can check this stuff out. If you bought, say, the number 10 cans, you don't necessarily have to buy these if you don't want to. This is just a conveniently packaged option. If you have a vacuum sealer, you could totally buy the larger number 10 cans, and they have even larger solutions for people that want even more food for long-term storage for, say, like a 30-day supply. But you could buy the number 10 and then divvy out whatever portion you deem fit into a vacuum seal pouch, and you could actually even vacuum seal it even smaller than this if you wanted. This is intended to be something that would be a little bit more substance than just a regular, like a protein bar or a Cliff Bar or something like that. This has more nutritional value.
Definitely not quite as easy just to rip out of the package and just eat because it's freeze-dried, but one thing I wanted to mention with the MREs and such, we all know kind of how they're packaged, but when you get into dehydrated and freeze-dried foods, okay, the difference in these foods is that they are devoid of most of the water content, okay? Dehydrated foods, obviously, you're dehydrating them. You're removing the water from the foods. With dehydrated stuff, you get about 80% or so of the water out, so not quite as long a shelf life as the freeze-dried foods. Now, with freeze-drying, basically, the food is flash frozen, okay? And after it's flash frozen, they put it into a vacuum, all right? And this removes like 98% of the water. So when you remove all that water out of there, you're, number one, you're keeping 1/3 cup of boiling water.
1/3 cup of boiling water, check.
You are, you're removing the habitat for microorganisms to flourish, okay? And then, like when this food is put into these number 10 canisters here, they're sealed, they're vacuum sealed at that point. So all the oxygen is removed. So like Eric mentioned, if these are kept in a cool, dry, and dark storage, area in your home, like preferably like a basement or something like that, that's kept, dry with a dehumidifier, or even a dark pantry, you can store this food for 25 years. All right, freeze-dried food has a very, very long shelf life, and also, as Eric mentioned,
half a cup of water.
Oh, half a cup of water in the whole thing. Well, get a little bit more then.
Yeah, we'll do a little more.
Maybe each pack is a little bit different.
Yep.
But anyways, they do offer, 3-day supplies, which we've mentioned in other self-reliance videos, that everyone should have minimum a 3-day survival plan, okay, including 3 days worth of food. If you're in sort of a hurricane-prone area, whatever the case is, your power goes out, your, travel is restricted because of debris and stuff in the roads, and you can't get to the stores. The stores may be destroyed, and the stores are probably going to be empty from everyone shopping before the storm and just gutting them out. Yeah, pour me a little bit of that in there.
Got you, man.
But
all right, home style scramble.
3 days is the minimum, but you can get 30-day, 60-day, year. Packs like this, and you do save a lot more money if you want to prepare for those like long-term issues that you might run into. But anyways.
Yeah, I mean, long-term food storage is a great idea, and this is a really good alternative to MREs. And this is our first time trying these on film. We're going to try all of these different entrees we've got here. So this is the home-style scramble.
All right, look.
And this package is 310 calories in one serving. So it's got tons of carbohydrates, which basically your energy. So if you look at all of the stuff, they've got 40 essential, and I'm reading this off the number 10 can here, but 40 essential nutrients in every serving, 14 vitamins, 14 minerals, 9 amino acids, 2 omegas, plus fiber. So it's going to keep you regular.
All right, look, I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but growing up, my mom used to get these potatoes. I don't remember what brand they were, but they were the little microwave potatoes in the little foil trays or whatever.
I'm getting that.
Little, kind of like the silver tray. I guess not foil or whatever, but they had a little plastic on top of them, and they were like a baked potato or whatever. But it was all mashed up. It had like chives and stuff and cheese on top of it and all, and you pop them babies in the microwave. Like initially, that cheesy potato-ish smell kind of takes me back. Boy,
I'm definitely tasting my childhood. There's something about it that certainly gets into that. I agree.
They weren't lying. This stuff is tasty. Man.
It's not bad.
That is really exceptional.
If you, I feel, and this is just me talking here, I think if you just added water to that and handed it to somebody and didn't tell them that it was freeze-dried food or some type of a survival ration, I don't think that your average person would be able to tell the difference. I mean,
man, that is fantastic.
It doesn't have that processed taste, like it tastes fresh.
Like MREs.
Well,
look, some of the stuff in MREs is pretty good, but I'd rather have this any day of the week.
Okay.
But like these packs,
I'm happy with that so far.
These packs would be perfect, for taking out camping and such. You just throw a few of these in if you're say you're taking the family out or whatever. Just gather you up some different meals and such. I mean, obviously, you probably still want to cook on the campfire and stuff, but man, this would be a perfect thing for an emergency use.
Triple cheese mac. Ooh. And this is a 380 calorie ration. 1/3 cup of boiling water. Cover and let stand for 8 to 10 minutes. So we don't wait that long. Ooh. We're going to consume it immediately.
Well, I'm sure you could probably talk for that long.
No, oh, you're funny. All right, see what works. Oh, this has got some noodles. Ooh. Okay, oodles of noodles.
Hey, I don't think this is going to go well with my keto diet.
That's right.
What keto diet?
All right,
what are you
so there's
about?
your triple mac.
Hey, does any of this have red meat in it? Because, Uncle Joe may not like that too much.
Well, he can buzz off. All right. 1/3 cup of hot water. Look at that.
Maybe a little bit more. You were, a little bit away from the top there. Yeah, a
little bit.
Little tiny bit.
There we are.
All right.
It says to let stand, but we're not going to do that.
Well, here, look. Let that one stand.
I might have added too much water.
Look, let that one stand. I'm going to try this one real quick. Let's see. Do we have to let this one stand too?
I might have added too much water.
No. That's okay. Let it stand. If it's
I know,
noodles,
it will thicken as it
will.
sits.
It'll soak it up. Come on now.
I know. I'm just stirring the product.
Ah, look, this one here. Stir, cover, and let stand for 3 to 5 minutes. Here, let's take one of the bowls.
Yeah,
here.
run it. All right, so we're gonna let our noodles sit there. They're still feeling a little crunchy.
Cover.
All right, we're gonna cover it.
Cover it. All right, look, Southwestern.
I hate waiting.
I know. I do too, especially when I'm hungry. Hangry.
It is lunchtime.
Hangry. Southwestern medley. 3-bean medley with bell peppers, rice, and a kick of paprika and jalapeno.
Run it.
All right, I haven't opened one of these yet. Let's see how easy they are to open. Because, that's very important in a survival situation, how easy your survival rations are to get into.
If you can't open the ration, you certainly can't eat it.
Ooh, baby.
It looks like some Uncle Ben's rice.
Was it like Uncle Ben's?
Are we talking? No, it's great. Third,
half a cup.
half a cup.
Yep,
All right,
half a cup.
so
That,
I don't math very well, so this and some more, right?
Yeah, that and a little bit more.
A little more. Very scientific. Look at that.
I hope the instructions have a little room for modification.
Yeah, for user error.
Modification.
That's right.
User modification.
Look at that. So now when we're adding the water, the heat is making it where obviously it's no longer cold, right? But the water is rehydrating this.
And one thing too, if I didn't mention it earlier on, with freeze-dried foods, I don't know why I can't say that today. Maybe I haven't eaten enough freeze-dried foods. But with freeze-dried foods, it's dehydrated so quickly that cover it up with this bowl and let it sit for just a few minutes.
It's looking pretty good right now.
It is.
I think we probably
just for a minute. Let me explain this, and then we can eat it. All right, here's your spoon. That's the mixing spoon.
That's the mixing spoon.
Don't get your cooties all over here now.
I got Brandy's bougie spoons. Look at that.
Cross-contaminated. It's like rainbow PVD. Anyways, with the freeze-dried foods, the nutritive content is retained. Okay, like 99% of the nutritional value of the food that went into that freeze dryer is retained because the process is so fast. All right, when you get into things like we've talked about before with canning foods, okay, you're actually cooking the foods and using heat and, depending on the meal or whatever the case is, you might be using some different like acids like lemon juice or like a citric acid or whatever the case is to help preserve it as well. But you're actually cooking that food a little bit more, and you do lose a little more of the nutritional value or the nutritive content of those foods. But freeze drying is by far the best method for long-term food storage that retains its nutritive value and also its quality. Because over time, like with dehydrated foods, they'll keep for a very long time, like a decade on the shelf, all right? Or
This
more.
is all packaged in Reno, Nevada, right here in the U.S.
But you'll also start to lose a little bit of like flavor quality over time, past that point. It just starts to kind of degrade a little bit, and the food may not quite be the same quality when you go to eat it.
Mac and cheese.
Split me some of that off there. Actually, here, look, let's do this. I brought some cleaning equipment here. Actually just stole a roll of Brandy's paper towels.
And her bougie spoons.
We'll
tell
give
me
these back. She always fusses that we never give her stuff back.
We don't.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, there was a fur missile here.
That's right.
In my bowl there.
Okay,
Ooh.
So I will say I probably added a little. Here, just leave that bowl.
Yeah, take that.
I probably added a little bit too much water. That's okay. All right, mac and cheese. Liquidy. I think I added too much water.
It's okay. I don't think the noodles are quite like al dente. What would Gordon Ramsay say?
Ha!
I wonder. All right, let's see.
I don't know.
It tastes like you got this out of a bag. Well, Gordon, I did.
I'm sure Gordon Ramsay could spruce this up. I mean, I'm not saying a lot, so I'm eating it.
Okay. So, dude. All right. So the noodles aren't quite like rehydrated all the way, just because we didn't give it the amount of time it called for. But man, I am very impressed.
Yeah.
Is there such thing as, let's see, smell-o-vision, but is there taste-o-vision?
Taste-o-vision?
Can you guys?
It's good.
Can you guys taste it?
All right. our Southwestern medley. Look, I'm just gonna divvy you out some here. This is the.
I don't want to cross-contaminate. I want to get the full flavor.
Mr. freaking Gordon Ramsay.
Look, I don't want my Southwestern medley tasting like my mac and cheese. Thank you very much.
You know, there are a lot of different people out there in terms of how they view that sort of thing. My wife is the kind of person that doesn't like to have all of her food, you know, cross-contaminated. She likes to have everything sectioned off.
Well, look,
I'm the kind of person just throw it all on a plate because it's all going in one place.
No,
so I know,
look,
you know.
when we're doing tests like this, I like to minimize the variables. Now, you talk about Thanksgiving, everything on that plate is going into a big mixing pot. I mean, but come on, man. Minimize the variables.
So the Southwestern, I'll wait for you. The Southwestern medley, three bean medley with bell peppers, rice, and a kick of paprika and jalapenos.
Hey, wait a minute. There's more than 3 beans in. Oh, 3 types of beans. Oh, gotcha. I'm just kidding. I'm not that dumb. Some would argue otherwise.
I think I probably didn't add quite enough water. The beans didn't quite get reactivated. There you go.
Bloop.
Yeah, little bit more water in yours, but not bad. Certainly edible.
Let's see. Well, you know, if we just follow the package directions as intended.
Oh, you know. We
All right, now see, if you guys have noticed, I've been letting Eric take the first bite, just to make sure. I mean, it's safe.
That's good. You know, and I want to mention something as well throughout this process.
Yeah.
Say you were at deer camp or something, and you had some camp meat, you know, some deer backstrap or something, or maybe some nice sausage. This would be the perfect thing to, you know, brown some sausage in a pan and add it into this. This would be almost like dare I say, a jambalaya if you added some good sausage to this.
Heck yeah.
And maybe some hot sauce.
All right.
The flavors so far have all been pretty standard fare. I wouldn't consider it like the trip to Flavor Town. I mean, after all, it is a survival ration. So the nutritional aspects of it are probably more important than the overall flavor. But I will say that the flavors that so far that we've gotten, in my opinion, are certainly edible right out of the box without any other salt or pepper or, you know, additional spices.
It tastes way better than cardboard.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But no, man, this is great.
Well,
maybe it's because I was so hungry, too.
Well, I mean, that's the crux of the whole thing, right? If you're hungry and you're in a survival situation.
I guess, look, I guess, you know, I threw an extra variable in there because I didn't eat this morning in preparation for this video. So I guess we need to start over.
It's not bad.
Right? All right. I'm
good.
getting behind here.
That was 280 calories. So the caloric intake on each of these is going to be a little bit different depending on what you're eating. Not bad. Other than me not putting enough water in there, pretty good.
Yeah.
Next.
All right.
How about you want the oatmeal or what's that?
This is chocolate grain.
Do that
crunch.
last.
Yeah.
All right.
Yum.
Oh, it smells heavenly. And this is 230 calories in the Hearty Apple Cinnamon Oatmeal. Creamy whole grain oats. Organic golden, whatever that word is. What's that word?
Quinoa.
Okay.
Quinoa, I think.
Sweet apples and a dash of cinnamon. Let's go. It smells like I feel like I could just eat this right out of the container.
How much water does it say?
I
guess I should have brought down more measuring cups.
1/3 cup of boiling water.
Well, our water, too, is not quite boiling here.
That's all right. Give me a third.
Gotcha.
It smells really good. I expect this to be
I need to put just
very
a teeny
wholesome.
bit more in there. About like that, right there.
Oh man,
Bloop. Man.
a rough day, like a morning climb up a mountain. Oop, wrong one. Yeah, go ahead. But like a good morning climb, and you need a good breakfast. Something's nice and hearty.
Oh man.
Man, like if you, I just picture this type of thing. If I can paint a picture with words, if you will, you know, you're camping out. You get up in the morning. You set up your boiling water, make yourself some coffee or whatever. to get you a little bit of extra boiling water, make your meal, have you a nice coffee. And this is a great way to start the day, especially if you brought along some fresh fruit with you. And just chop up some, fresh apples or something and throw in there.
Package?
Yeah. That's it.
Is that it? Yep.
Isn't that cool?
Let's stand 2 to 3 minutes.
Oh, that's a long time to wait. I will say the quality of this food in terms of the overall taste and the pleasing aesthetic of what you accomplish when you're eating a warm meal certainly is better than a standard military MRE. Now, I might be a little bit jaded because I've had so many military MREs. I'm sure if I ate this for a year straight, I would find things to complain about any ration over real food. But I think there's this mental disconnect that people have with not only military rations, but just survival food in general. They think that survival food is not good, or that it's not good for you, or that it's difficult to make, or it's expensive to buy and expensive to store. This probably does represent a slightly higher cost than some of the options that are out there. But I think if you bought this stuff in bulk and you were willing to do your own vacuum sealing, you could certainly make do with that pretty well. And you can store a heck of a lot of this food in the number 10 cans like this for quite a long time. I mean, and you've got a long shelf life. So you don't necessarily have to go, okay, well, to be ready for 3 months straight, I've got to go out and spend all this money and buy all these rations all at one time. No, you could just go through and every couple of weeks, budget some money towards it and just build your stock slowly over time. And then, obviously rotate, first in, first out, just like a grocery store would, and use your oldest rations first. If you are going to continuously just sort of use them and cycle them out, you can do so. All right, so this is our oatmeal. Let's see what we're working with. Oh, that's a nice consistency.
What I like about this stuff, too,
this needs some brown sugar on top and some apples chopped up.
What I've noticed from just reading the ingredients on here is a lot of organic ingredients. So, free of preservatives and chemical processing and all kinds of nasty crap like that. Man. All right, how is it? Yeah?
It tastes exactly like it smells. Like unicorns and puppy kisses. Like, it's literally the smell of your childhood.
All right, so... All right, as my mother would say, that's a meal that'll stick to your ribs, right?
Not bad. Again, on the flavor profiles, each of these so far I've noticed, while good, could probably stand, if you're looking for that real sweet, thing going on with your oatmeal, you probably want to add a little extra sugar if you got it with you. Or maybe add some fruit, But that's nice that these are a good basis if you are in an environment where, let's say you can score some fresh apples from a tree nearby, or if you've got some fruit growing nearby, or stuff you can just scrounge up on the land around you. This is a great way. It's kind of like Hamburger Helper, except these can help any proteins or vegetables or fruits that you might find nearby. You can totally just add this to make, even the worst curbside fruit that you just found somewhere on a tree palatable.
Just watch out for the danger berries.
Yeah.
That certainly will stick to your ribs. All right, so the last thing to try, chocolate grain crunch. Now, organic crisped rice, sorghum, and quinoa, I hope I'm saying that right, with rolled oats and a rich cocoa crunch. We have to add milk to this, so I'll have to go pay a visit to old Bessie.
Okay, so we need milk for this. We don't have any milk. All right, so we're going to do this in true survival fashion. Just use water.
All right.
The recipe calls for milk. We don't have milk. Use water.
I was kidding when I said we go visit Bessie. We don't have a cow.
No.
Yet.
And we don't have any milk either. I'm actually out of milk, so...
You don't have any milk in the freezer?
This is the truest test of this ration. I can't really picture people having milk in a survival situation, though.
Hey, they look like Cocoa Krispies.
It would seem that you should be able to use water. So we are going to test this with water. It does look exactly like Cocoa Krispies.
All right, so I guess it's kind of just like a cereal.
It smells like cereal.
Well, look, I've eaten cereal with water before.
That's what we're doing here.
And
what's it called for?
Well, look here. We don't want hot water, do we? Here.
Oh, is this supposed to be like a cereal?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, so it's not hot water that you add.
Here. Yeah, don't put boiling
You
hot
gonna put
water
coffee in there?
No, just regular water. It's out of your well. I mean,
Whoa, that's good.
there you go. Here, look, let me get a fresh bowl and you can break me off.
So this is supposed to be literally cereal.
That's what it appears.
Is it just a fancy way of saying, hey, this is cereal?
Yeah, so this is chocolate grain crunch.
So this is basically...
I didn't put 2 and 2 together when it said add yogurt or milk and enjoy, or just enjoy as is. We could have just eaten it dry, I guess.
We could have eaten it dry, and
okay.
now hindsight,
That probably would have been the best choice.
As they say, hindsight is 20/20,
Hey,
but here we are, okay?
Break me off a little bit of that chocolate grain crunch.
All right, we're going to give it a try. So we're basically eating cereal with water.
Milk. I mean, with water, yeah.
That's all right. Hey, but this is a survival situation. You got to, beggars can't be choosers, okay? Let's give it a try.
It is not terrible with water. Man.
I have to say, I prefer it hot. With some hot water. Okay.
Well then. Man. No.
Again, not necessarily the trip to Flavortown, but nutritious. Okay? And I've noticed, like, when something is meant to be hearty, it's not super salty. When something's meant to be sweet, it's not super sweet. So don't expect, like, biting into a diabetes sandwich, okay? It's not like that. But good.
It definitely tastes like chocolate, and not like the imitation of chocolate. Not real strong. Not real strong flavor, but man, I could go for that.
It's not bad. Honestly, my opinion, that's 250 calories. This is the perfect thing to just grab your knife and cut, a nice clean cut across the top and just eat it right out of the bag with no milk or water added. And just kind of treat this like a trail snack, that sort of thing. You need a little burst of energy. That's what these types of things are good for. So those are the individual packages there. And then, of course, the number 10 cans. And if you go to the website, you'll see the link down in the description box below. But go check out Nutritional Survival. And you'll see all the different options and packages that they offer. There's a ton of different flavors. There's tons of different literature on the website if you want to research all of the individual nutritional value of each meal and each type of food, because they are slightly different. As I mentioned, different caloric intake for each one. Some of them are higher calorie, lower calorie. Some of them have more fiber, less fiber. So there's going to be a little bit of a swing in the nutritional value, between the entrees.
So
not bad.
With all these calories I just partook of, I think I'm gonna have to go run 5 miles, right? Work all that off. Because it says this is for like high energy situations. Well, I'm a low energy kind of guy. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Go take a nap? I could probably sleep it off. I mean, how many calories do you burn while you're asleep?
Well,
I'm just kidding, guys. Kind of, maybe not.
I dig it. This would be a great way to supplement some existing preps that you might have in mind, right? So this is not meant to be a complete substitution for any other type of long-term storage that you might want to come up with for your self-reliance needs, right? You should still look into pressure canning. You should still get a vacuum sealer and look into buying food in bulk and then doing your own vacuum sealing. That's a great way. To be fair, okay, say I vacuum seal a bunch of noodles or something, or say I vacuum seal Hamburger Helper or whatever. It still is going to require a considerable amount of heat and water and time to cook, noodles from a, uncooked noodle all the way to a finished product. Whereby this, you just simply add the hot water, and it's certainly not like trying to cook noodles. Like with the mac and cheese, they were ready pretty quick.
They were ready enough, but the package does say to let it kind of rehydrate, for 8 to 10 minutes. And look, if you're cooking noodles, you're going to cook them at least 7 minutes, okay, and they'll be al dente at that point. So I mean, I can see. I mean, those noodles do still have to rehydrate. They still do have to cook a little bit, but overall, the quality was good. I mean, if you just need something quick. But like you were talking about, using this as kind of an addition to current preparations. I mean, my situation, I have a garden, okay, each year, so I'm canning all those vegetables or freezing some of those vegetables, and I'm almost out of some of the things that I canned last year, like tomatoes especially. I'm almost out of tomato juice. I'm almost out of tomatoes. I've still got some black-eyed peas. But see, I'm growing those food products again, and I'm rehashing my stash. Okay, so I'll just be adding back to my canned food stores. Now, the shelf life of canned foods is quite a long time, but as we talked about before, light can harm the quality. They have to be stored in a little bit darker place, okay, so you don't have that risk. The canned foods, they lose nutritive value a little bit more over time. They lose quality a little bit more over time, but you can still keep it for 5-10 years on the long side of things, sometimes even longer. The food's still safe to eat after that time, but it just may not taste as good.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, this type of food, the quality level stays very high over a longer period of time. And one thing, too, that we didn't mention early on is that, all right, like a home dehydrating setup might run you between $100 and $300, depending on the size and the brand and things like that. Home freeze drying setups are very expensive because it's a very specialized piece of equipment. You can get into the thousands of dollars for a home freeze dryer. So not everybody is going to have the option for purchasing something like that and then growing their own foods and then putting meals like this together, because there's several ingredients in these type of meals. But a place like Nutrient Survival, everything's ready to go right out the box, and you don't have to worry about doing all the work yourself. I think that's one of the big benefits. It's just because the freeze drying is such a good storage option for food overall, but it's an expensive process. I mean, let somebody else take care of it for you. Yeah. But anyways, that's just my thought process with that, because I don't think I would really ever have a freeze dryer at the house. Maybe down the line, but like right now, just with the garden and with dehydrating certain foods at home, that takes up a lot of time and effort.
And not to mention the pressure canning. I mean, we've done, videos on the pressure canning process if you want to check it out. I think in my freezer out there, I'm down to, I think I've still got 2 whole deer left that I've got to process and can. And I've got to get that done before hunting season so that, it all is a cycle. So I'll go and get all the deer processed. I'll go and pressure can them all, and then we'll have room in the freezer for the next batch next year. I think this last year, between me and about 4 other hunters, we shot 17 deer, and I've pressure canned about 3 of them in their entirety. So I've still got a long way to go. I've still got 2 more to pressure can, and that'll free up room in my freezer. So if there's some disaster situation, and let's say that the power's out and now all my food is going to spoil, I mean, having the luxury of having a freezer is cool. And no pun intended, it is nice to have, but power fails, and the canning process is a much more foolproof option. And I think this is a much more foolproof option for long-term storage, just to have in the bag of tricks and just to diversify your food storage assets. And I think it's a smart thing to have in the bag of tricks.
Very much so. Quick story. All right, our friend Roy Hill. All right, they had that bad derecho out there in Iowa last year, and just kind of went across the Midwest. It was like an inland hurricane almost, that sort of thing. But they had super high winds, just constant winds, constant rain, just some tornadoes broke out and everything. And he was without power for 9 days. All right, and he was pulling things out of his freezer. He had deer meat and all kinds of stuff, and they were cooking up all kinds of stuff. And I'm not sure if he tried canning anything, but in that situation, I would probably open the freezer real quick if I didn't have a way to power everything back up, pull some stuff out, let it thaw, and I would just start canning stuff, if I didn't already have it done. But situations like that do arise, and if you're only relying on something like a freezer and you don't have a way to power it, in sort of an emergency situation like that, especially long term, 9 days is a long time to be without power. But man, he was cooking up all kinds of deer like every single day. Like, all right, here's what I'm cooking today. That's right. Like, holy cow, man.
Yep. Nothing wrong with that.
Man.
We hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you tune in for more self-reliance episodes. Also, we've got our manly meals episodes. Make sure you check those out. We cook all different types of stuff. So we are a full faceted channel in terms of what we do. We do everything from gun stuff and our gun gripes and all, but also self-reliance, cooking videos. I mean, you name it. We kind of dabble into a little bit of everything. We try to maintain that we're a variety channel with a little bit of something for everybody. So we hope you'll subscribe, check us out, tune in. And again, we hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you check out the link below. Go pick yourself up some nice rations and sort of have a holistic approach to your overall meal preps. Have a good one. We'll see you next time. Many more videos on the way, and we'll see you soon.
Are we like one of those primetime variety shows, or are we like one of the ones they put out at like 1 o'clock in the morning?
We're like the Z list, like way, way, way down on the bottom of the totem pole.
See you guys later.